Good evening, everyone. It's Saturday evening, of course, and we're here on Virtual Band Parade. And of course, marking Remembrance weekend and Remembrance Sunday, of course, tomorrow, and then Remembrance Day on Wednesday. Isn't it Wednesday? Yes, it is. It is Wednesday. Roy has made all the choices tonight. I've had nothing to do with it. So I'm getting as much a surprise for each of the tunes as you guys are. And I have to say, loved the first two. Good start, Roy. Don't be good downhill from here, whatever you do. But good start. Absolutely excellent. I have lost loads of text messages because there's just so many of them coming in from you all. So I'll try and get through what I can through to see, okay? And apologies to anyone that I'm missing out before that. So Karina and Ray, Kenny Dummigan, Joanne Burtney, William Smith, Penny Johnson says Band of Brothers is well picked. Denise and Amy are watching in Coke. Pauline Hearn Bloomer, William Callahan, Jennifer McAllister, David Rainey, Ian Henry is watching from Corby in Northamptonshire. Ronnie Hyman is watching, Sylvia Slane, Billy McMenemy, Robert Watson, Aaron Chambers, Jackie Mullen, John Williamson, Davy Hagan, Richard McNeil from Preston Pans and East Lothian, Alan Scott's Coates says, good evening, everyone. Hope you're well and having a great evening. Stay safe. Gillian was asked, did Jensen miss fifes and drums? Yes, he did, but you can see it in the repeat. Muriel's watching. Gordon Hotchkiss is watching from Manchester. Gordon, Roy, do you want to display your T-shirt? A Gurnty got one.
Yes, so I'll take it nice and slowly.
You're going to have to stand back. Stand back.
So I can't stand back. I'm nearly as back as far as I can go. Hang on, if I go backwards like that. But yes, people can't see the detail. So if I go up close, people can see the detail.
Going down in the sun and in the morning. And then Thiepful, yes,
Ulster Tower on that side.
Ulster Tower. And then we will remember them. And that's Roy's Liverpool Corps of Drums. Oh, we got one then up.
You've got Liverpool Corps of Drums on that side. You've got Thank You NHS on that side.
Yes.
And in the packet, well, I did buy 2 of their badges. And if you look at the top,
the badges are gorgeous. Please go to their Facebook page. The badges are gorgeous. I'm going to have to get on and order myself a couple.
Top of the screen, just after it says Virtual Band Parade, there is a picture of the badge. But
there is.
That is them in their
glory.
Their glory, with the 96, which is a mark of respect to the 96 people who lost their lives at Hillsborough. But in the package as well, there was
face masks.
And the
ones. I don't know. I think that
the ones with the filter.
To mine.
There's the filter inside it. But they're absolutely gorgeous. That actually got a run round Tesco's today.
I'm sure Tesco's were much pleased.
So thank you very much to Liverpool. See, Valerie, you got me in something Liverpool.
I know, it's great.
So Liverpool Imperial Corps of Drums, thank you so much.
Well played, Liverpool Corps of Drums. Garth Revels is watching across Gar. Glenn Taylor says the best Abide With Me he's ever heard is Hamilton Flute Band and the Diamond in August ABOD Parade. If you could get that, it'd be a great tribute. We have had that on the show before, Glenn, and it's absolutely fantastic. Davy Logan is watching, as is Tad Adamson, Jim McManus, Jean Moore in Irvine, Alice Stewart McCracken in Belfast, Ian Nicholson, Harry MacArthur is watching, Bernie Boardman, Samuel Martin from Moneymore, Victoria Sheridan, Rebecca and Jordan, I think I've said that. Carl Robinson in Liverpool, Jane Kerr in Ballinamallard, Norris Main is watching, John Hewitt is watching from Liverpool, says good evening all, I'm in work tonight, so I'm looking forward to another great night of bands, I hope so. David Sheridan, Christy McCracken, Victoria, Francis Murphy's watching from Birmingham, Elaine Calderwood is watching, Keith McCormick in Portrush, oh my goodness, Joshua Morris says wartime songs played like that, spine tingling. Well, listen, any of the regimental bands do, or Majesty Forces bands is spine tingling. They were absolutely wonderful. Fraser William Galloway from Glasgow, Jennifer Ferris from Donaghadee, Reggie Cullen is watching, Karen Means in Belfast, Cheryl McDowell, great introduction, Mr. McPeak, says Davey. He's very happy with your start. Keith McInerney is watching in East Belfast, I'll make a ravey, Billy Daly, Sean Blair, GMAC, Gormy's on, good to see you, Karen, Barry Hamilton, sorry, try to read these so quickly. Morris Work, good evening, China, might get our 3 in a row tonight. No chance. Kenny Dummigan, Billy King, Michael Hutchison, Tony Miller, a COVID House, Tony. Oh my goodness, hope everyone's keeping safe. Stephen McKinney's watching The Town, Mark Fry and Ballymena. Stephen Feely is watching, Joel Jackson, Alex Williams, Tommy Lloyd is watching from Liverpool. Look at all these Liverpool people watching for your top, Roy. Great start to the show so far. He really did good. He did good, I have to say. So let's see how he gets on next. So our next band up, Roy, are Southdown Defenders.
Yep, Southdown Defenders all the way down in Uri. I will make apologies now throughout if there is any repeated tunes through tonight. There might be a couple of tunes repeated.
Did you have a theme going or anything for tonight?
No real theme tonight. There is a little bit every now and again. There will be a little bit to do with remembrance.
Remembrance, yeah, because we don't want to do it all somber and all remembrance, but
no, there's a little bits of remembrance sprinkled throughout it, but I suppose my theme nearly is sort of bands we haven't played as much. Again, just trying to revive some of the ones that we haven't played as much. Yeah. I think there's actually one new one tonight.
Oh, cool! Looking forward to that. So
this is Southdown Defenders at their own anniversary parade last year with their new uniforms.
Boy at the back got the umbrella. Is it stuck in his hip pocket or something?
No, it's actually stuck in the coat. That was me.
What? Was that you?
Yes.
That's what I was going to ask. Was that you?
That's me. Like I've got the umbrella stuck down my coat.
I thought it was stuck in the hip pocket of his jeans. How is he doing that? My goodness. Gordon Hotchkiss says the start was brilliant, as does Stu Boyd says great start to the show. Joel Jackson is watching Ballykelly. Cheryl Sloan in Newton Ards. Joanne Bertley says, love your hair. So Joanne, it's like a rat's nest tonight. I haven't washed it or nothing. Thank you, though. Barry Hamilton says, come on, the jurors. David Semple's watching from Macrofelt, having a few beer with Big Alan, Georgina Semple, and Kyle. Good, glad to hear. Francis Murray says he's watching in Preston's Pans. William and Alma Scott are watching from Cumber. Nigel Sinton is watching as well. Vicky Finlay. Ian Simpson says, can we have a wee bit of Gold Springs of Cumber? Have we got them on this evening, Roy? Nope. Right. So what we're going to do next weekend, I'll go through all the comments from last night and tonight, and anybody that was requesting bands, I'll pick them up with maybe a few censorship. That's the word I'm looking for. Jennifer Gregory, hi to you. Barry Boardman wants to know, can you give my friend a wee say too? Barry Hamilton, I can indeed. I think I've just done it. Welcome to you both. Ronnie Hyman says, great to see the Royal Albert Hall. Took part a few times with the Portrush Royal British Legion Standard. Great experience. Mason and I went over a couple of years ago. Our good friend Denise in Coke got us tickets, and we went with her and her mummy and two of her friends, and it was brilliant. It was just a dream come true for me, because I've always wanted to go and watch it. So I might disappear at 9 o'clock tonight and leave Roy on his own and go and watch it. So we're fully expecting the figures to drop at 9 o'clock, and that's fine. That's fine. Graham Kenny says, thanks for the Lambay Gorgon Blue last night. Not a problem. Stephen Ramsey in 9 Megan. Did I get it right again? I've remembered that the way you told me to say it. Raymond Gill says, it's good to see Roy supporting Liverpool. I know, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Couldn't have picked a better band, or a better place for a t-shirt for.
They're a good band though, and I did live in Liverpool for 4 years, so which is more than I can say for. It's more than I can say for you. I've probably been to Anfield more times than you, Valerie.
You probably have, because I've never been.
I've been to Anfield 2,
but
4,
listen,
6,
listen.
8,
Come here
10,
to tell
12, 16 times I've been to Anfield.
Going to Anfield or not doesn't make you a more devout supporter.
It does.
No, it doesn't. You can't get tickets for every blooming match. If every Liverpool fan got tickets for every Liverpool match, nobody would be at it, because it would be
half full. It'd be half full.
Cheeky so. Graham Patterson wants to know, can I have orange wings for Tommy Steele of Constable Anderson Memorial, who's no longer with us? I did read that, and I am so sorry to hear. My sympathy to the family and friends of Tommy. I don't know, Roy, have you got that on the list? No. Sorry, unfortunately, the list is kind of made up in advance, because I know it may not seem like it at times. We try to get things to run as smoothly as possible. It may not always come across that way. So our next band up on Roy's list is Ballyclare Victoria, Roy.
Again, it's just another little band. I know you keep ribbing me that I don't like melody or flute bands and everything else, but I do have to put in part bands to keep the mix up and everything else. And Ballyclare Victoria are one that I actually do quite enjoy listening to. So
they are very, very good. So this is Ballyclare Victoria. All he has got written down beside it is Melody Shop. No idea what that means.
That's what the tune's called.
Is it?
Yes, that's what they call the tune, Melody Shop.
Okay. can safely say I've never heard that one before, but it sounded really, really nice. I like that one. Lila Irvine Chidwick is watching in Cleethorpes. Albert Harkness is in Newton Ards. Jim Werner is watching from Malaysia. I'm trying to get through these before I lose them. Susan Sweeney is watching in Liverpool. William Fenton is watching. Victoria says she doesn't mind repeated tunes, but Tony Miller says there'd better be Ballykeelan tonight. Eddie Martin is watching from Steel End in Fife. Marlon Lowe and John Dowling are watching, as is Marlon Lowe and her wee daughter are watching from a cold West Lothian. Good evening. Hopefully the music warms the cockles of your hearts. Isn't that what they say? Carl Porter thought there was great drumming in that one. Davy Scott thought it was class. Brian Gibb is watching in Crumlin. Jane Kerr said she loved Sing for the Boys. It was very appropriate tonight. Exactly why it was chosen. Serena Hamilton, Roger Warwick are watching. Stephen McKinney wants to know any Gemma Higgles. Not my picks tonight, so I don't know. So I'm finding out as you do. Robert Lee says hello again from Ballymena. Looking forward to Roy's picks. Marlon Lowe wants to know, can we have a wee bit of Pride of Govan? We'll definitely get some of them on next week. There's a few people been asking for them. Have you got them on tonight?
I've covered both bases tonight. There is Pride of the Govan and Govan Protestant Voice.
William Glass slept in. He missed the first 12 minutes. That's what happened to him last night. That's why we couldn't get him on the phone. He was sleeping in. Cheryl wants to know, can you say hello to my grandson, Kyle? Hiya, Kyle, who is lying on the sofa, eating his crisps and watching the bands. I can't think of anything better to do, Kyle. That's a perfect. Now make sure that your granny goes and get you something to drink as well, because, you know, you maybe be dry after all those crisps. Roy Patterson says, I think the three amigos are huffing tonight. Eddie says they're not huffing, but watching closely. Pearl Hyslop is watching from Belturbet in Cavan. Good to have you along, Pearl. Will McQuillan is watching in Moneymore. Stevie Brown, Craig Fergus, this is fantastic. Keep her let used to. Alan Weir enjoyed last night so much. I'm back. Well, glad to hear, Alan. We're here every weekend. Feel free to drop in anytime. Dave Halvo says watching while she's watching Strictly. Hey, great excuse for not watching it. Great excuse, Dave. Edward Fellows says that's more than me, Roy, and he was born in Liverpool, so there you go. Neil Glass says Liverpool supporters can't get tickets because of tourists. That's quite right. Tourists like that don't even support the team. If I'd have been looking for a ticket, he was doing me out a ticket. That's exactly.
It's because I lived and worked there that people give me a ticket to go and see when they play in Manchester United. I even went to the Merseyside derbies as well. So
yeah. Joshua wants to know when people who are nice to Valerie request night.
It was meant to be tonight, but then, as Valerie said last night, she hasn't been feeling great all week, and so
I have to admit, last night in the bands really did perk me up. It absolutely did.
To tell you,
there is no.
Seeing my beautiful face every week perks you up.
There's nothing really more I can say to that other than talk about the next band. The next band is an accordion band, Dergina Accordion. And this is at their own parade. We haven't had them on for a while, so I'm guessing that's why you've included them this evening. Great wee band, and let's all enjoy them. This is them from 2016. Great there from Dergina. And again, lovely to see the wee young ones at the back of the band. I always love to see the kids out with the bands. Tim Webb is watching in Craigavon Hospital. Your dad says, hi, Tim. Hope you are feeling better. Know you're in for a wee operation and hopefully you'll be fully recovered and out soon. Don't pick up any bugs while you're in there. Aaron Chambers says, play us something from Gertrude Starr. Aaron, were you not watching last night? We played Gertrude Starr last night. Jensen says that I can come with him because he is getting special tickets to LFC Disability. I've been in touch for special seating when we go. Oh, that's brilliant. Did Klopp ever reply to the letters? I want to know if he's replied yet. I think he will. He's so nice. He's so nice. Alan Finlay says he might give that the one that people are nice to Valerie a miss. Why? Don't know. Are you trying to say you don't like my picking? That's not what you're saying. My goodness, Alan. Jason Gibson loved that. Carl, oh, that was Ballyclare, sorry. Carl Robinson loved it as well. Corina McHugh, Gordon Hotchkiss. Hans Jordan says, a big shout out to one of the best young pole men on the road and front man for Killiney on his 13th birthday, John McDonald. Happy birthday from the team at MBV. Keep it high, John. Well done. Yes, and of course it is John's birthday today. Everyone will know John, I'm sure to see. Put a request in for East Belfast and Ballyhalbert because Eddie and John are not on yet. I think they're on. I think they're trying to be good, which is great. Peace at last. Wayne Rafferty is watching from Lisburn with the McCarthneys. Greg Buchanan is watching from Parkhead, Glasgow. Okay. Russell Miller says good show again. Hopefully. I'm just looking down. Alan Philly says loves the Pride of Goblin, so he's looking forward to it. Georgina Semple wants you to say hi to her loving husband, Davy, even though it's under Davy's name. Something a bit sus there. Something a bit sus. And Tim has come on and said, evening, folks, watching from Craigavon Hospital. Hope you are doing well. Now, Tony Miller will be happy about your next choice, Roy.
It will be, considering the last time I had the picks I put on, I didn't play them, so I thought that's just a better play than this evening. Completely different style of music to what I would normally listen to, with it being Rathskeller, Pride of the Main, but it's Ballykeil, Loyal Sons of Ulster. Even though they're Blood Thunder, a different style of playing.
I'd have thought they'd be quite close to Pride of the Main, Rathskeller.
No.
Okay.
If you put those three bands together in a quiz, you could pick them. You could pick all three bands out, not a problem at all. And even Joshua Morris could pick out the three different bands.
Do you hear what he's saying about you, Joshua? Let's have a listen to Ballykeil. This is them at Gertrude Starr's Parade in 2017. A band, I think, have one of the most underrated flute corps in the scene. I mean, their fluting is always clean as a bell and not easy, neither. Definitely not easy. I mean, you listen to that tune, there was loads going on in it. Absolutely loads going on.
They're a fantastic band.
Huh?
They are a fantastic band.
They absolutely are. Jason Gibson wants to know any Oma Protestant boys tonight. Susan Sweeney says she lives in Liverpool and can't get tickets. Will Helmut's a little bit of the regimental. Aaron Chambers says he loves to hear a little bit of blood and thunder. Stephen Feely says he's not huffing. He's waiting patiently for three bands to come on. I have faith in Roy. Nice t-shirt, Roy. How do you get one? So, of course, I think I saw later on that Roy is posting the link, but if you go on to the Liverpool Core of Drums Facebook page, you will absolutely be able to get one from there. Jim Gilfinnan asked for Lark Hall Purple Heroes. Kenny Dummigan wants to know any Larn bands. Neil Simpson says, shout out to the boys in Darren, shed up the girt. Vicky Finley loves the accordion bands. Lynn Fitch, she missed the girt last night. Steve McKinney wants to know any Ballymaconley. Alan Finley says, Valerie, my son plays accordion constantly, so your pick night might just tip me over the edge. Listen, even if I was having a pick night tonight, I still stick to the formula that everyone else has to stick to. Certain number of accordions, certain number of brass or silver, certain number of pipes, certain number of blood and thunder, melody, part, all that there. It's just the way the show's constant, because we're trying to be fair to everyone. We're trying to give all bands a little bit of airplay and a little bit of spreading the good word about them to people who maybe haven't heard them before. Adam Livingston is shocked because we're half an hour in and we haven't had Pride of the Main, Roy. Now, let me just look down the list.
There's no Pride of the Main on the list this evening. So just anybody that was waiting for Pride of the Main, they're not on the list this evening.
No Pride of the Main.
It was the reason I didn't play Ballycade the last pick night, because it was too many Ballymena bands, and it's quite easy just to fall into that trap and play them all. So let's spread them out. So we've had Ballymena tonight in the form of
Pride of the Main.
No, Ballycade.
Ballycade. You were talking about it and it was in my head. I was reading a message at the same time. Gillian says she hasn't had any letter back from Clock, but it went to Melwood, so maybe send another one. Liz Below accordion hasn't been on for ages, says Jean. Yeah, we'll try and do something about that. Did you manage to find space for Newton Stevens and Isle Boys tonight?
That's the new one.
Yes, that's the one I sent you over.
That's the new one.
Yeah. Yous are on, Alan. Don't panic. Aaron Chambers says, yes, sorry, I missed the Gertrude. If you could please play them. Aaron, you're trying to get me into a row, aren't you? We try not to play the same bands night after night, and that's why China and Eddie and Stephen are huffing tonight, because they're looking for East Belfast Protestant Boys and Ballyhalbert on every night, which isn't fair. It isn't fair. What we're trying to do is just give everybody a wee shot at it. We're just trying to be fair. That's all we are. We're not picking against any band. Joshua Moore says, I'm actually with Roy on this one regarding the difference between the three bands. Josh is agreeing with you. Wow. My goodness.
Hang on. Just two seconds.
Where's he away?
It is a blue moon tonight.
Right, our next band up. Sorry, I won't be placed on the list. Next band up. Oh, yes. Brass bands. Love brass bands. Brass bands and silver. Well, silver bands. They're all silver in their name. And this is a virtual musical performance from members of different County Fermanagh bands. So what they did was they all got together with COVID, but they all joined together to do a musical number virtually online. And in this are Tempo, Ballinamallard, Maguire's Bridge, Letterbreen, Ballyray, Listen Ski, and Churchill Silver Band. So this is bound to be good. Wasn't that brilliant? And so, brilliant tune, Villager. Secondly, it was done so well.
It was right up until the point your girl's shoulder disappeared in the belly at the back left. That was the one bit that got me. Just you see the shoulder disappearing inside the belly.
That was absolutely brilliant. Really, really well done there to all of them and whoever did it. And they're obviously all using green screens and all that kind of stuff. That was so cool. So cool. Definitely worth it. Hey, Roy, you're definitely doing well with the picking tonight, I have to say. Teal Sinclair is on the train on the way home after a 12-hour shift with a wee beer. Cheers, Teal. David Sheridan says this just sounds like any other Blood and Thunder band. This is Ballykeeney's talking about. David Logan says all the Ballymena bands are class and uniquely different. Cheryl wants to know where's Rob the Prods tonight. He's very quiet. Jason Gibson says if you can't pick the difference there, you need your ears cleared. Oh, you can absolutely tell the difference, but they're kind of more, the three of them are kind of more that, like jiggy, more modern rather than the traditional Blood and Thunder is what I'm meaning. Senior Glenn says any pride of Ballybean. Roy Patterson thinks that China is counting his money. Was he playing GAA today? Were East Belfast GAA club going today? I don't know. Reggie Cullen is looking for a little bit of Kilkeel silver. Senior Glenn says that the main flute core on a different level. So you think probably the main flute core is slightly better? I don't know. I think they're both excellent flute cores.
They're both excellent. They're both amazing flute cores, but I think if you had to put if the two flute cores were equal in numbers and side by side, Pride of the Main would just slightly edge it. If they both played the same tune. But they don't play the same.
Not biased nor nothing. That's just one man's opinion. That
is just my personal opinion. It has always been my opinion. And
William Smith's looking a wee bit of SPB, Shanghai Pros and Boys. Robert Goldsmith says any chance of Newton Saville accordion band? That's one we haven't had on, I don't believe. So we'll have to look for a wee clip of those, Robert. Get done the money maker fell on. Aaron Chambers is huffing. Oh, come on, Aaron, be fair. You join the rest of them huffing. Norman Gordon says Loyalist Fusiliers are ma. Linda Neal says we watched this yesterday and loved it. The silver band things, it was very good, wasn't it? Very well done. Davy Semple wants some Ballymochan Macrofelt. Ronnie says, John China, come back, please don't huff. John Trump China is doing a recount of recount for a friend. Oh my goodness, very good, Mass Silver. Everyone's loving those silver bands. So next up in our list, you're going to be very, very happy. This is New Stevenson Old Boys. So this was sent in to us earlier on today by Alan Weir and asked us if we could play it. We haven't had New Stevenson on for a while, especially the Old Boys band. So this is them playing at Airdrie Grenadiers Culture Day in 2015, and Alan tells me he is the lead tip in this clip. So let's have a listen. Alan, I think you were trying to give some of them boys a wee heart attack. The speed you started speeding it up. Very, very good indeed. And everybody's just loving the wee guy in cymbals. He was thoroughly enjoying that. Hugh Stevenston. Now tell me this, is Alan, you can tell me, is there Amy Clements in the band or in the current band or in the old boys? I'm not sure. I think I have a relative in the band. Fabulous and brilliant. They all say super. Love the speed of the number on jig. Your man in the cymbals has enjoyed himself. Fella in the cymbals is brilliant. But debate on there about the flute chorus between Pride of the Main and Ballykeel. Do you know what? They are both really brilliant flute chorus, and you can tell the both of them put the work in. I'm not going to say who's better or worse because that just starts rows, but I think they both, you can tell there's a lot of work, a lot of dedication, and a lot of effort going into all of those bands to get them as good as they are, and many others as well. Your man in the cymbals says Wayne, he'll have a pint of whatever he's on. He definitely had plenty of energy, that's for sure.
Never been a pint. I could even just do with a half a pint of it.
Definitely did. Now, next up, we have Dungiven Crown Defenders. I could nearly say that. A band I absolutely love. Smaller numbers, but when you consider where they're from, it's still brilliant that there's a band there. Do you know the name of the tune or anything that they're playing?
I can't remember. Honestly, I can't remember the name of the tune. But again, I was looking through the festival, the marching newsletter festival marching bands, because it's normally the great music on there, because the bands, not only do they take it to the next level because they're playing in front of a static audience and not on the road and everything else. And I came across this one, and it's just absolutely fantastic from Dungiven.
Ooh, Dungiven definitely that night they had put on top class performance. Stuart McClemens, that's the one. I couldn't remember whether it was him or the brothers. Stuart's granny and my granddad were brother and sister. There. Small world. So this is Dungiven Crown Defenders at the newsletter.
It's the sash.
Tell me.
No, it's not.
Dungiven Crown Defenders at the Newsletter Festival of Marching Bands in 2013. superb there. Absolutely superb. Didn't I tell you it was a really, really good performance? Two cool dudes on the triangle, says Aaron Chambers. Oh, look at all the sizes and the wee tits. Wee tits. Do you guys just sit there and critique me? Hi, Val, something different about you tonight. Have you new glasses on? That's Billy McMenamin. Neil glasses. She's lippy on, looking good. I don't think I've lippy on. What was I going to say? The new glasses, but they're several weeks old, so I've been wearing them week in, week out for about 2 weeks now. So they're very focals, and I'm still trying to get used to them. They're getting there. Russell Miller thought it was a brilliant band. Scott Clark says, oh, this band is just making me think of Lundy, because Johnny Gaston walks in with every year, and always there for moral support and fizzy pop. I'm really going to miss it this year. Oh, I know. Well, Lundy is one of my favourite days. Though someday I will get to see Lundy being burnt. I haven't managed it yet, but I'll manage some year. Wesley Miller Parker says,
hang on, pause, rewind.
No, just keep.
Pause, rewind. No. Pause, rewind. So
okay.
So you're there in the city.
Yes.
Yeah? You get to see the bands parading.
Yes.
Then what happens?
I partake of some light refreshments.
Okay.
And talk to friends.
Okay.
You know what I'm like talking.
Blue bagger.
No, absolutely not. Definitely not. Definitely not. William Torrance says that band were very, very good. Great flip part. They absolutely are. James putting the beats in with the one stick. Obviously, the bass drummer, I think you're talking about. Gavin has it said, must have been the worst day weather-wise we ever had for 12th down in Portstewart, right? I know the day you're talking about because I was down with my friends, and we no sooner had arrived in Portstewart than a great big dirty seagull shit in my head. And it smelled of fish. It was stinking. I was actually boking. I had to.
Good luck.
Huh?
That's good luck.
I was only 13 or 14, for goodness sake.
Oh, good luck.
And what was I going to say? I had to go into the toilets and like wash my hair. So thank God it was raining the whole day because my hair was soaked anyway. But oh, it was awful. It was awful. Anyone who's ever been shat on by a seagull will sympathise with me. Keith Johnson loves. Yeah, Keith, you're one of the ones that I'm usually talking to. Whenever we're up in London, in the Memorial Hall last year, you gave off because you said I deleted you from my Facebook, and I can't even remember doing it. Scott Clark says he keeps his drink in a rucksack at his navy right enough, so up the blue baggers. Oh, I hate seeing blue baggers. I absolutely do.
But you see, Scott, let you into a little secret. Valerie is, shows her age a little bit because she takes one of those shopping trolleys on wheels. You normally see your granny pulling along with you. That's what she takes on.
Ladies, let me tell you, it's the best thing ever. No blue bags, no plastic carrier bags, no carrying in your handbag, nothing. Get one of those shopping trolleys. You remember your granny used to have them. One of those shopping trolleys, and you get ones that actually have seats on them. So not only are you not having to carry your alcohol, you're just pulling it along behind you. Sorry, sandwiches and light refreshments. You're pulling it along behind you, and you also have a seat to sit on whenever you decide to stop. It's best thing ever. And you even get them in Union Jack, though the wheels come off my Union Jack one, so I bought another one. I didn't buy another Union Jack one. Scott Clark says he normally can't see straight about cold rain on the way there. Neil Gas says it's the best bit of the day, seeing Lundy burnt and the band's getting stuck in. Great day. I see loads of video clips. Someday I'll see it in reality. Hi Billy, you're late in this evening. It is good show so far. The boy's doing good, I have to say. Boy is doing good. So what's he going to pick up for us next? Jensen and myself, says Gillian, are staying off. He's staying up late to watch the poppies fall on his hero. Captain Tom is on. Oh, brilliant. Oh, lovely. Lovely. Amy Norton says, woohoo, made it. We're all crazy over here. You all can adopt me if you want. Good, Amy. Yes, we're definitely adopted.
Consider yourself adopted.
You're adopted. Now, Amy, tell me this. Trump, Biden, good news, bad news? What do you feel? I see they're saying that Biden's won.
Yeah, he has. It's bad news.
We're not that happy about it over here, I have to say, Amy.
America's going to go downhill from here.
I'm sure it's all very hotly debated. We have American relatives who are hotly debating it, but Let me know what you thought. Dolly Troy, perfect word for it, Edward. He says his wife is one. We'll have to nickname it. Biden won. Yes, he won. But is that good? Do you think that's good, Amy? As you know, like an American, do you think it's good? Because nobody over here seems to think it's good. Billy was late because he was at the Chinese. Oh, I haven't had a Chinese in ages. Now, Pride of Govan are on next. So all of you guys who are asked for a little bit of Pride of Govan or Govan Protestant Boys, he has that one on as well in a couple of bands. This is them in 2019. A little bit of Blood and Thunder for you all. Brilliant there from Pride of Govan. A few of you were enjoying that one. Amy says it doesn't really matter who won the American election because it's just a pile of crap show. Davy Logan thinks Biden's more of a patriot. Do you think so? This is the guy who said a thing is on St. Patrick's Day, as long as you're not wearing orange, you can come in. And who is, but then again, like none of them do us any favors either. So I have to say I've never been a Trump supporter because when it was Trump and Hillary Clinton, me and my mum and they were all Trump and I was like Clinton, who obviously lost. But there's a whole lots of conspiracy theories about votes gone missing and all that kind of stuff. It seems to be a very weird election process, I have to say. But Ningas says it's just one loony replaced by another. Maybe a good way to think of it. Are all politicians not loonies? Do you not have to be a wee bit mental to be a politician? I think you do. Trevor wants to know what about a good pipe band. He loves the drumming. Well, we normally always do have a pipe band in our list, and we do again tonight. One that I don't think we've had before. Is that the one you were talking about, Roy? That last clip was the Glasgow Apprentice Boys of Derry August Parade, and this is just coming out of the city centre going over the River Clyde. Good, glad to hear. Someone did ask where's China, and Robert Goldsmith said in the Far East. Very good, very humorous, very humorous. Biden wants the White House codename to be Celtic. That says it all. Today, is that right enough? Didn't hear that. Amy says now half the folks that voted for Biden are trying to figure out what to do now. They are both bad. A cardboard box could do better. Do you know what, Amy? You're right. Cardboard boxes could probably do better than anywhere as politicians. Let's see. Funny, I was walking in the park with a wife a few years ago, says Trevor Lennon, when a bird crapped at her. She said, run to the toilets to get paper. I says, don't be silly. The bird's miles away by now. That is terrible.
And
Oh,
no,
brilliant.
Amy, you haven't missed the pipe band. Plus, in 3 more bands, it's a little bit of pipe in with the bugles as well. So there's 2 bits of pipe.
Oh, cool. Partly China is sitting with Charles Camilla in the Royal Box in the Albert Hall tonight, so we'll all see him on the TV later. No politics, please, says Robert. Oh, we'd like to talk about the Americans because that's not really politics. It's craziness, absolute craziness. And no, you didn't miss the pipe band. Good evening, says Diane. Fellow prods, how's you? John missed the silver. Biden is an Irish Republican. You do over here need to be mental to be a politician. Absolutely do. Now, next up, another wee accordion band. Hi, Leslie Ann. Glad to see you in. This is Listen and Grow It Accordion Band on the 12th of July evening in 2018. Wee clip there of Listen and Grow. Unfortunately, both them and the Lodge low on numbers there on the 12th day, but the main thing is keeping going and just keeping working and building the numbers back up again, going well. Scott Clark, I didn't realize what your message was referring to until Roy translated it. Up a DNs.
You should have seen the look on her face, Scott. It was priceless when I went, Diddy Nippers, and she went,
disgusting, absolutely disgusting. Ballymaccormack Accordion Band Rock, says Aaron Chambers. Willie Main says that Trump's the best president America has ever had. Now, I have to admit, I did read a whole sort of like spiel about him earlier on and how much he has actually done. And I think you're probably right that the media are very anti-Trump. So to be honest, the wee twisted thing in me says it would have been nice to have seen him winning just because they didn't want him to win. Is that not typical Ulster Scots or what? Twisted. Good evening to Scotty Kringles in Carlucht. He says good evening to you all. Billy McDonald says, can you explain the purpose of a drum major as I see so many bands without one now? No, there's a good one. It depends on the band, Billy. So accordion bands that I have been in, they take the direction from the drum major, and a lot of the more marching and style appearance, marching discipline oriented bands. So they halt based on the like the if they're playing and the drum major does stuff with his mace, it's a signal to halt. Like they know when to like move out and in and all that kind of stuff. So when you are drilled that way, a drum major, not having a drum major in front of you is a major loss. It's really, really difficult, and it really just throws the band off. So I'm always used to taking my directions from a drum major, which is great because it gives the band such a good cohesive structure. Whereas, like a lot of band majors or drum majors will be, they're basically, blood and thunder drum majors. They are there to entertain, throwing a stick and all that kind of stuff. Some of the other drum majors are maybe, like they're maybe pipe drum majors, and the band aren't trained to understand their commands. So therefore, like they're not halted on command, they're not picking up marking time and stuff on command. So it more depends on the band, Billy, than it actually does on the drum major. So you could have, one drum major who in front of a band who understands the commands, is following them. And then you've got another drum major, put the same drum major in front of another band who don't understand the commands and they don't follow them. So it's kind of, I've noticed actually drum majors increasing. It used to be that drum majors were rarer than they are now, particularly, like the more military styles. But I've noticed that they've increased, and pipe bands are huge in terms of numbers of drum majors, which is absolutely brilliant. And now they're also starting to walk in front of, like flute bands and accordion bands and all that kind of stuff now, which is fantastic. I mean, you just have to look at Lisburn Defenders, who was the band on earlier on, Southdown Defenders, was it? Yeah, I mean, and you can actually tell that their pipe band. I don't think your girl in front of Lisburn Defenders is pipe band. She might be. No, but you can actually tell pipe band trained drum majors in front of a lot of them because they all have the same kind of style. But again, like I walk behind two really good Mark Hugh Pritchard and Lisa Gates, two excellent pipe band drum majors, and they were able to do all the like all the signals, etc. That we understood the commands. So it just depends on the demand or the band more than it actually does on the drum major. So sorry, I went on a wee bit there, but you get what I mean. Everybody's saying that Harris will take over from Biden within a year, and yeah, I actually I've read that there as well. They think that is going to happen. Robert Goldsmith says there is none better than Naomi. Well, are you talking about looks, Robert, or are you talking about style and appearance and commands and all that kind of stuff? Because Naomi is a looker, I have to say. She looks really, really well in her costume. I've got a couple of brilliant photographs, very photogenic. Neil Glass says there's a school for drum majors now. There is indeed the pipe band drum major school. A good friend of mine, Alicia Dixon Hamilton is her married name. Teaches at it, so the law. She was a former world champion, so. And always also an orange woman, which we should all be. Now, next up, pleasing the other Govan supporters, this time it is Govan Protestant Boys. Pride, our Govan Protestant boys, they're very nearly announced their own band, and that would mean dangerous. Govan Protestant boys are playing in East Belfast. That looks to be the Newtonard Roads.
It's up near China's shop.
Yeah, I was going to say, because is that there's McDonald's, so the Con Club will be in the right hand. That explains the crowd. The Con Club's there.
That's the reason why I picked that one, because they were walking into the crowd. So.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant there, and lots of you loving it. Carl Robinson, Marlon Rowe, Alan Finlay, Russell Miller, Benny Boardman, Neil McKinnon, Davy Logan, Samuel Martin, Barry Foster, all loving that wee clip. Lisa is going to miss getting to see them tomorrow, as she normally would see them in Remembrance Sunday. Yeah, because they're usually over at this point, and they usually do the City Hall, don't they? And Remembrance Sunday. Now, the next clip is actually from Belfast as well. It is one that Neil suggested last night that we should look out and have on today. He said that after, this is from the UDR2 parade, Memorial Parade in February, and he said that as they're coming down Royal Avenue, Proud of the Raven always strike up Killaloe, and he said it's a hairs on the back of your neck moment, so we had to look it out and include it on our show this evening. Thankfully, you were all spared the sound effects of Roy yoing in the middle of that there, but I'm sure you were all doing it at home, so you probably didn't hear him anyway.
Exactly.
Everyone just enjoying that one. Jean Kerr says, Killaloe, that's just brilliant. Marlon Lowe says, brilliant. Jim Venner, class. Jackie Mullen, brilliant. Billy McDonald says, it's a pleasure of walking behind them every year at the Scottish 12th. Brian Goody says, now you're talking, the Mighty Ravens, superb band, just love them. Absolutely brilliant. Robert Goldsmith, at last a band from the East. Dan still first class. A parade, the wee Ballymena Corps drums is a pleasure of being part in every year. Is that the UDR parade? Oh, not good. Didn't know that. Stuart Boyd wants to know, no Connacht Yell. It's okay. Roy was doing it for them. Don't panic. So don't forget to let me know about your birthdays. I'm noting them all down here. So I've got 3 or 4 coming in, and we'll do the birthdays later on. But for now, we're going to go to just to remember every what we're commemorating this evening is, of course, Remembrance Weekend. So this is a clip from Roy. It's the Royal Irish playing at the part of the Royal British Legion Festival of Remembrance for 2020, because obviously they can't have it in the Waterfront Hall the way they normally do. So this is a little clip from their online version of it. Love that wee tune. I have to say that if I was still arranging music for accordion bands and choosing what they would play, that would be one of them, because that's a brilliant arrangement.
I could listen to them all night long. I could just have a whole night of them, them and the Royal Marines. And
there was one year, a few years ago, I was at Ulster Tower for the 1st of July, and they were practicing, the pipes and the band were practicing at the Ulster Tower. So I was there early, and they were practicing beforehand for the main ceremony, and they were coming up and down, and the pipes and all that, and they were just going up and down, you know, the approach to Ulster Tower. And I was in heaven, like I was in absolute heaven. And I got stood up, you know, on the steps going into Ulster Tower itself. So I was almost like in the middle of the band. They were, you know, counter marching out round me, and I was videoing away on my phone, and I was like, oh my God, this is brilliant, this is brilliant, this is brilliant. I discovered that I hadn't pressed record. Talk about got it, absolutely got it. And that was one of the tunes that they played. Oh, it was amazing, absolutely amazing to be standing in the middle of it. Let me see. Someone had said that they were going to leave. Alan said he was going to leave for the BBC Remembrance Service. He says, but I can't do it. The Royal Albert Hall empty would break your heart. Oh, I never thought of that, Alan, I have to say. I never thought of that at all. So, as Scott says, His Royal Highness Prince Charles is addressing the nation as we speak. Well, Prince Charles? Me? What difference is there? I'm jesting, okay? Let's go to our next band. It's an accordion band. This is Money More Accordion, playing at the Ballybreast floor of the Heather concert in 2020. Adrian McElvenna says, never mind, Charlie, we have Camilla on here. That's terrible. Billy McDonald says, I have more money than Prince Charles. I wish. I absolutely wish. Scott Clark wonders if he can get BT Sports and the dogs. That's terrible, Scott. That's our future king you're talking about. That is not good. Don't hear Balmoral too often now. Was that Balmoral It's not the tune I know as Balmoral, Adam, but it could, you know, that's not to say. David Johnson says great night of bands. Well, so far, yes, we absolutely have. Keep your birthdays coming in, and we'll get our birthdays done after a couple more tunes. So the next band up, I think, was requested earlier on. I think I saw someone asking for this band. I wasn't able to tell you because I hadn't looked down that far in the list. It is, of course, Done a Money, playing at the Robert Graham Memorial Parade in 2016. Great clip there from Done a Money, and Davey said you're totally right. Very, very good color party. Absolutely brilliant. Really, really well turned out and looking really well. Stu Boyd said he wrote that Grimsby Chums, or that tune, Grimsby Chums. Gavin Haslett says that was Balmoral, played it many moons ago in Killaloo accordion. Balmoral tune that I know starts dee 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 dee, and so on and so on. But it is a combination of tunes, so maybe one of the tunes is similar to that. There, to be honest, I was only half listening because I was writing stuff. Let's see, where are we going to next? What have we got up next? Let's have, is Stephen on? One of the Three Stooges, is he on this evening? Because he will be very happy. Our next band up is the Miller Memorial, playing at the Belfast UDR Parade very early in 2020. Super March there, and a lumberjack. Well played by Miller Memorial. Gordon, thank you for keeping me right. He said it's the second part of Memorial. Lots of people enjoying there the Miller Memorial. Alex Williams says our good friends Miller with one of our favorite tunes, the Lumberjack. David Logan said the piccolo was outstanding. Yeah, it was very, very good. Very good. Great march, Lumberjack. I haven't played it for years, I have to say. Now, someone was asking earlier on about a little bit of pipe band, that they love the pipe band drumming. This is, I don't think we've had these guys on before, Roy. I really don't. Ballindrum pipe band. I'm taking it they're from somewhere around Macrofelt or somewhere. No? Don't know. Anyone tell us where Ballindrum pipe bands are? They're playing at Ballynenna RPB Sunday service in 2019. Where's Ballynenna? I'll have a wee Google. This is them playing in 2019. Great wee pipe band there and playing Abide With Me. It was lovely. Nice to move on. So Ballindrum, there's two. There's one in County Athlone and the other one is up round one in more direction. So it wasn't too far wrong. It was out round there somewhere. So yeah, that's where Ballindrum are coming from. Now, don't forget our birthdays. We're going to do the birthdays after our next tune. The next one is by Pride of the North. Is that Pride of the North Dollingstown or is this Pride of the North Glasgow?
Glasgow.
Right.
Pride
of the North.
Pride of the North Foot Band Glasgow. This is at Blackridge Thistle back in 2017 and the tune is Tumble Down.
That's all you need to know. there. Andrew Irvin says, first time seeing us on the clips. Well, you have been on before, Andrew. I've had clips of you on before, and I'll tell you the reason why. The band played for my Psalm Association quite a number of years ago, probably about 10 years ago, maybe less, over in Scotland. And I've video clips of them on my mobile phone, but they weren't great quality to watch. They're quite good to listen to, but the video quality is very bad. So I actually went searching for the clips. So that's how I know you were on before. Adam says that Dollingstown are Star of the North. To be quite honest, I just know them as Dollingstown, and it was the other day I'd read something about, Star of the North or Pride of the North or what it was. It was the first time I'd actually heard that bit of their name, so that's why it came into my head, not for anything else. So thank you for keeping me right. Ian Pollock says there is another Pride of the North in Ulster. There could very well be. I tend to know bad, like Dollingstown. I just know them as Dollingstown. Things like that there. Tommy Checky Robertson is watching from Lesmahaco. Lesmahaco, I don't know. I don't know how I say that, Tommy. Sorry. Tell me how you say that. Break it down. Steve McKinney says another very professional band. Andrew Irvine says way before your time. What are you trying to say, Andrew? What are you trying to say? It wasn't that long ago. We had mobile phones and stuff like that there. That's how I was able to take it.
Is that the ones that came with the big bricks of batteries and had to sort of be plugged in every two minutes? Oh, I know the ones you meant now. You were videoing on. You had to wind them and they were black and white and silent. That was
moving swiftly on. Birthdays. Okay, so I've got a few.
Yeah, you've had a few of them.
Oh, dear goodness. Hi, it's only loaned to you. It's only loaned to you. So, William Gilbert, I am told it is your birthday. Happy birthday to you. You're good. I think was it your daughter or your wife? Not too sure. I'll have to look back in the message again. Said that you watch the show every Friday and Saturday night and that you would be delighted to hear your name mentioned. So happy birthday to you, William. And thank you for watching so religiously. We just love love the people watching the show. We get to know everyone. So great to have you. John McDonald is, of course, Richard's nephew who does the drum major in front of Kilclooney, and he is 13 today. We already started, we're talking about it on the list, but can't miss him out. Also, Thomas Wilson. Hiya, Thomas. It is your 9th birthday today. Have a very happy birthday. And also, Kitty Galway. It is your 17th. And Mum and Dad wish you a very happy birthday, as do all of us here at Ulster Bands Forum, and I'm sure everyone watching. So happy birthday to all of you. Hope you have had a lovely day or are having a lovely day, whatever you may be doing, although we're kind of restricted a minute, but have a great birthday.
There's one last one just come in there. William Hutchins' birthday yesterday from Omatru Blues, LOL 937.
William, happy birthday to you as well. So happy birthday to you all, or anyone that's too shy to ask for your birthday wishes, but happy birthday to you all. Brilliant. So on with the music. Now, the next band, again, thank you to everyone who's been sending in historical photographs. They are brilliant. I have got hundreds of them in. It is fantastic. If you have sent me in photographs, please be patient. They will all be shared on the forum. I've got 4 showing a day. I think I've got like about 100 lined up, which takes me to the end of November sometime. I've still got dozens and dozens more to do. They are absolutely fantastic. And one of the photographs is actually of this next band. They used to have Red Hand Defenders at the end of their name. South Fermanagh Loyalists, Red Hand Defenders, and then eventually they dropped the Red Hand Defenders. But it was just a nicely interesting bit to know. So if you are sending me in any of the old photographs and you know anything interesting about the bands, do let me know the information as well, because it's always nice to read those wee things. So they are playing, this is South Fermanagh Loyalists at the Gertrude Star Parade in 2015, and they are playing Betrayal. I think there's been a lot of people waiting on you coming in, China. Good evening. Have you been counting all your millions? What kept you? Huh? Don't tell me you were eating, because I'm starving with hunger. I'm only after telling the Hobbit to go and put me on something to eat. It's either that or Chinese. So, time for another silver band. I heard that this wee silver band had a very, very good bass drummer. I don't know whether that's true or not. Playing Rope of White and Great Escape, I'm told. Let's have a listen. Let me know what you think of the bass. Scott, you're the same as myself and Roy. We had to actually search for the bass drummer. Reggie, you're well hidden in there. We couldn't see you. Did you see him, Roy, in the end up? He's right in the middle, sitting down, hidden behind a stand.
I could just see the bald head.
I didn't say that. I could see the bass drum. And of course, Joy pointing out there that Yasmin is playing along well as well in the drum corps. Well done. Great Escape, son. Wonderful there. China, do you want to donate a drumstick to a 5-year-old? You know, Cheryl, the best drumsticks that you can get are the ones that you make. And do you know who's very good at making them? Sam Dixon of the Dogs fame in Limavady. But they are tennis balls in the end.
That's not a drumstick. That's a drum major pole.
Is that not what you're talking about? A drumstick?
A drumstick is the thing you beat the drums with.
I know what a drumstick is, but it's just a single drumstick. Why would one drumstick be any good to anybody?
I don't know.
China says that you could do with a wee bit more money. China, I have the perfect solution for you. I've decided it. Union Jack trolley bags. They are the future. They are absolutely the future. The wee ones with the seats on it. You sell those and I guarantee you'll be rolling in it. Absolutely rolling in it. Definitely. Absolutely. We do have an EBPB on.
You could sell these, by the way.
What are these? Oh, the t-shirts.
Yeah, that one full screen. I'll give everybody
the full effect.
The full effect of it, rather than
Make
just.
Make sure you put it off full screen before you put your face back on again.
Yeah, we'll scare everybody away. Here, I'll put you back. There we go. It's Halloween.
That'll definitely scare everybody away. Right, we do have an EBPB on next. Unfortunately, it's not the one from East Belfast. It is, of course, the one from Londonderry, and this is East Bank Protestant Boys. Do you know what? I don't mind wee dolls and colour parties. Not a problem with that there. I think some of the best colour parties out there are female, without a doubt. What I don't like is wee drunken young dolls running down the side of a band, shouting the words of the tune that they do know with flags draped around their shoulders. I hate that. Absolutely hate that. Maybe it's just an age thing, but I absolutely hate it. Really, really
You're
do.
not the only one that hates it.
Totally disrespectful to the flags.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. And it's not the first time I've got a row because I've told somebody off for wearing a flag draped around their shoulder. It's so disrespectful. Now, my mum posted this earlier on and said that this clip gave her goosebumps. I haven't got watching it yet, so I'm really, really looking forward to seeing this. It is the Military Wives Choir, I believe,
Yep.
singing Abide With Me. I can see why she thought that. Very, very touching, that. Absolutely. Oh, China says the tears are tripping him. It's coming close, I have to say.
I'd love to see that get to number one.
That is brilliant.
It is spine tingling.
Yeah, it really is. What was I going to say? If you've never read the story of how they selected the unknown soldier for the cenotaph, you absolutely should go and read it. And I posted it today in the forum, and I'm just going to tell you about this very, very quickly. you know the way like Twitter has got like 140 characters, and it's quite hard to figure out how you're going to say what you want to say inside those 140 characters. The epitaphs on the headstones in the Commonwealth war graves were restricted to 66 characters, and they were charged at 3.5 shillings or 3.5D a character. So most people couldn't afford to have anything on. So there's only something like less than 40% that have epitaphs on the headstone. And the thing about it was that they you weren't allowed to repatriate the grave. So your son or your husband or your relative, your father, whatever, went away to war. They were killed in war. You weren't allowed to, the last you saw them was when they were going off to war. You weren't allowed to repatriate their body. You weren't allowed to choose your headstone, but all you were allowed to do was have 66 characters, if you were rich enough to be able to afford them, to express what that person meant to you in life. And it's a wee book I had about, you know, like the epitaphs of some of the World War I graves. And, you know, like some people went to poetry, some people went to scripture, some people, you know, just talked about their academical achievements. Some people talked about other things. I'd posted a couple on the forum earlier on today, but just think of that's the last contact that you had with your relative. Some people never actually even saw the grave because they couldn't afford to travel and it just wasn't safe to do so. So just think, how on earth would you sum up your relative in 66 characters? Doesn't bear thinking about, sure it doesn't. And it's something I never thought of before until I was reading that today. And yeah, it's kind of thought-provoking. So the next time you're walking around a Commonwealth war grave, have a look at the epitaphs and think about the poor person who had to choose that for them. Now, to lighten the mood ever so slightly, we have got a little number for a lady watching, Penny Johnson. I hope you're watching. This is Killycoogan Accordion Orchestra, one of their appearances that they made on TV. This is them playing a march that they kind of made their own. It's a classical march, but it's very lively and it works well. So you'll be okay, Roy. You're not going to fall asleep during this one. It's a march called Radetzky March. Radetzky there. I think it was the Jerry Anderson show, and it was in the late 80s, early 90s, that clip. Brian Goody asking, can I play that one? Yes, Brian, played it many, many times, because some years after that, I actually joined the orchestra, and that's the way they started off all their concerts. So played it an awful lot. Yeah, the hairstyles are crazy, but then again, you have to remember how long ago it was. So coming up to one of our last couple of tunes, this is Kilcloney Volunteers playing at the opening of their new hall in 2017. Roy tells me the name of the tune is Servant King. Kilcloney there playing the Servant King. Diane says that's a lovely hymn. Is it a hymn? Oh, I didn't know. Didn't know it was a hymn.
Yes, it's a hymn. I learned well from my church days. It's probably more prevalent in a Presbyterian church than it is in the Church of Ireland church.
Church of Ireland's the original best. Now, coming to our last tune of the night. Chad Adams has just been watching The Forces, Sweetheart, Vera, Valerie Quinn are the Ulster Band's form, Sweetheart. God love. It's quite funny because when Drew and I celebrate our anniversary, everyone gives him the sympathy, not me. Him. Just not good.
Well, having spent the last 30 odd weeks and then getting the glimpse of you, the home life afterwards in the show, I have got the greatest sympathy for Drew. The poor man is run ragged. He cooks, he cleans, he goes out to work, he does everything. That poor man is run to the bone. You should see his hands; they're just like bones these days because they're wore thin.
I'm worth it. I keep him in the style in which he's become accustomed. He lives in the lap of luxury. I'm worth it. We're our last tune tonight.
That's it. Folks. Just going to call you Miss L'Oreal from now onwards.
Miss L'Oreal, I'm worth it. You've distracted my train of thought now completely. Yes, we're on to our last tune. Thank you all so much for listening last night and this night. We will have something on at 11 o'clock on Wednesday the 11th. Isn't it Wednesday? Or is it Thursday? No, it is Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Yes, the 11th is Wednesday. So do, if you're handy, join online. Just a small clip that does the last post, 2 minutes silence, and then the Reveille afterwards. So thank you all for listening. Please do try to mark your 2 minute silence on Wednesday, and we will see you next weekend as always, Friday night, 8 o'clock. I think it must be my turn for a tune. So
Well, it was 'cause it was meant to be your turn this week,
we'll get to my turn this week, but
I hope I didn't. I hope I didn't disappoint this evening.
I have to say, Roy, your clips this evening have been fantastic. I can't fault them at all. Absolutely brilliant. This is the last clip of the evening. As I've said, thank you all for listening. And we will finish off with the Royal Marine School of Music beating the retreat. In the meantime, keep the flutes to the myth. We're coming to the tune.